Okay, Wednesday morning in the kingdom. Yes, in the kingdom. And I have the me phone inside the hoe shack, because the hoe shack is always nice and warm, because a warm hoe is a happy hoe. So this morning we woke up, it was chilly. All right, so we woke up to minus 28 Celsius, but feels like minus 36. Ooh. But on the yo-yo scale, minus 18. That's warm, okay? But feels like minus 33. Now we're talking. We're cooking with gas. No, we're cooking with wood heat today. Also, too, so, see if we got enough talent. Ooh, this is hard. Sir Rodney sent me my bag lunch today, or yesterday in the mail. A kingdom follower dropped off fresh homemade pierogies. So that'll be today's lunch. Yes, we're going to eat like kings. You know, I don't think they had the honky-bill pierogi maker. Remember that when you were growing up? They were advertising that? Yes, the honky-bill pierogi maker. I think these are really made, really made by grandma or something in the good kitchen. I can smell them right now. But that'll be my lunch. A big brown bag of lunch. All right. I'll set this down here. Oh, don't look at my cleavage or my bald spot up here. All right. So today, it's a shop day. Yes, I untangled the flags right there. So it's a little windy, it's chilly, it's cold, and we'll be working in the shop on the cats. But we've been waiting for the cold weather to come, but it's been too warm lately. Unreal. And also, too, the staff dealing with the dramatics of WHO-ville. Yes! Why don't they waste their time instead of worrying about clean garbage boxes and writing letters? Maybe plow the snow down there. Yes, we pay taxes for that street. Maybe plow the snow. But no, they won't. They'll do everything but the snow. But we're using the front gate. Oh, I'm most likely censored by now because the microphone is out in the cold, the Lily Tomlin. So the me phone's probably already figured that out. So I just have to plow my front gate 200 feet, and I'm happy. Last year I figured out I spent close to $20,000 plowing the snow, grading the road, keeping everybody happy. For what? For what? Nothing. Nobody drops off pierogies. Nobody drops off booze. Nobody drops off anything anymore. Because I live in WHO-ville. Yes, I'm the Grinch. I live just outside of town in a gated community down by the tracks. Well, I better go. Here comes the boss. And I'm probably censored anyways. Okay, that's still chilly outside there. That wind is chilly, okay? But it's supposed to warm up and snow. Yes, we've heard that all before. So this is how we are in wilderness Alaska, but in Northern Manitoba, we're in a low pressure system. The wood stove will not burn. Okay, so I've had to open the door to try and get some heat out of this thing. All right, we're burning some quality wood here. All right, if this stuff doesn't burn hot, we have a problem. There's something wrong with the atmospheric pressure or something like that, but who cares? I chose to live up here after my great divorce. All right, so we'll scroll this way. And the boss is an asshole, and he's getting upset because we need the Lavern, the cat, to pull the long trailer because the long trailer is just about out of wood. All right. So, but instead of working on the clutch, we're changing the battery cables. All right. So the days when I grew up, you had your lead battery cable, the lead paint on your crib, the lead paint everywhere, and it was good stuff. But now the new quality of lead seems to be very soft. We have to have the washer here to keep, keep it from being, the nut from disappearing into the lead. I don't remember that growing up. So we're changing everything from the lead battery cable top post to the trucker's batteries. Yes, the stud batteries, the top stud batteries. All right. We seem to have a lot more of those. And one thing I did back in the day, when I changed the batteries from being under the seat, which, leak, big problems, drama, just a waste of time, we put the standard size battery box on all the cats, okay? Everything from the TD6 up to the TD18s, and then the D6 9Us got it last year because the batteries are poor quality. So we have to carry them in to warm them up, just like the seat, or we have to carry the batteries, change them out all the time. So today's project is to, put the copper lugs on. All right. So over here, We have the lug selection. We buy in bulk from Sir Rodney. Plus, we save the old ones because you never know when we're going to be short one. And we have to repurpose, reuse, recycle. So this is the best way to do it. Is clamp them onto the thingy-me-bob and make sure you have lots of paste. Okay, you got to have paste because basically what you're doing is soldering like copper plumbing, copper pipes. So if you got the paste on there, you put the copper or the solder in and it flows around, and that's what you want. You got to have the paste. So lots of paste, and then we use the Bunsen burner over here. That is the yellow one, I'm told. So it's got more zoom power, whatever. So that's how you do it. And then you take the brake clean and clean off all the goo from the paste, and then tape it up good. We don't believe in the shrink tube. We use tape because shrink tube costs money. A roll of black tape can be repurposed, reused everywhere else, but shrink tube can only be used in certain places. But we shrink tube everything else in the wiring. So let's get this battery hooked up, and then we have to start stripping the cat down. We got to take the hood off to get the air cleaner off to get down into the clutch. All right, so hopefully we can get that apart today. If not, we'll just drink beer. Okay, to work on the clutch on the Lavern, we're doing things differently because in 2017 we got the gas motors from the where's my lips? Okay, we got the gas motors from down in the States there. We had the work bee on these cats and everything like that, yada yada yada. 2019 we got them up and running, and also too we found out that a lot of things aren't as easy because they say on the internet, on the Red Power and the IH bulletin boards and stuff, oh, you blew your diesel up, just put a gas motor from a farm tractor in. Yeah, right. We learned a lot. Okay, the diesel motor is longer, the gas motor is shorter, so you have to have this here. Okay, so there's the different holes. Also too, farm tractors bolt to the frame or whatever there, and the cats bolt on the front here. So things just don't change or fit around and stuff. Oh, I'm hooked. My Lily Tomlin cord's hooked. So it was a learning curve, lots of beverage, lots of welding rods, lots of grinding blades, all right? So we even had to make our own little throttle thingy-bob here, okay? So we're getting a little carried away on doing it, all right? In theory, you can just take the air cleaner off and reach down and do it, but we took the whole housing off because we're fixing and improving other things. So the day I stop fixing and improving, that's the day I'm at my funeral, you know, in my pine box, and I'll be pushing up daisies. Yes, daisies up here in the north? No, I don't think so. I'll have to be cremated. All right. So that's the plan right now, is to take it apart. We're fixing things as we go along, making improvements, and after lunch we'll get down into here. All right. And also too, I've already taken mark there. See, look at this here. Look at that. I marked it. So when this clutch lever comes off, it's going in the workbench. It's going to be cut, sliced, and diced so my big legs and my big boots will fit. I don't know, these things aren't designed for big people with big snow boots and big ski pants or whatever to drive. They're made for, how would you say, people running around driving them in Crocs and shorts. I don't know. All right, another thing too, if it's my cat, the little foot pedal's been cut off down here. All right, okay. I trim these things out because they have to be easy to work on when it's cold. Yes, when it's cold. Yes, because it's not that warm in the shop here because Mr. Stove is giving me grief and heartaches. We might have to get some more accelerants to keep it going. Okay, after lunch in the kingdom, I just came out to the shop a while ago, and then I was working away, and then all of a sudden this stove took off. So we had an air pressure change because this is starting to snow outside. So now I got the door closed and it's pumping out the heat. So we went from, how would you say, wide open, basically a bonfire outside and it wouldn't burn, to now we have a controlled fire. All right, so over here you can see the snow is snowing. I don't know if you can see, there's a glare. All right, I should have showed this here before lunch, but I was kind of sober. All right, there's your block heater, and IH has a little drain on the side of the block. That's why it's over on this side. That thing gets warm and it uses whoops, I'm hooked again. All right, so it uses warm air rises, warm water rises. So you got to get it to go over here. Do not plummet to here. Everybody puts it to here. Even I was young and dumb and everything like that. Now I'm just old. Okay, because all you're doing is going to heat and melt the snow off the top of the rad here. Been there, done it. Okay, so also too, you want it to go back here. All right, so there, You bring the hose around, you make it a nice gentle slope up like a train, like a locomotive train. It can only climb so much grade, and that's the same as water. Warm water rises. Have your tea here at a slight angle, okay? Because you want that's the thermostat or the thermometer or whatever, heat gauge. Yeah, we'll call it that. So that's there, and this here will gently rise up, and then the water will flow because there's still water up in here in the head, and it'll flow all the way back here, getting the head warm and getting the body of the whole cat warm so it'll actually start and run. So it's just simple mathematics or simple equations. You know, Bill Nile, the science guy, could explain it, or me. Okay, now back to the clutch here. We do things differently in Wilderness, Alaska, but in Northern Manitoba, you see all the gasket goo? That's our trademark. If there's no gasket goo, I didn't work on it. All right, so over here, that's half the floorboard, okay? We cut them in half. We don't care. We're not purists or enthusiasts or natural IH guys. This is practicality. This is survival, okay? Trying to get that full floorboard in here and lined up with those holes plus the holes over there. I'm having trouble here. There. Oh, not the middle finger. You'll set Karen. Right there. So trying to get all those holes lined up, next to impossible. That might have worked good when the machine was brand new 70 years ago, but not in today's world. All right, so you got to use your tarp strap to hold your brake pedal down. See, there it is there. Okay, if you don't have a tarp strap, use binder, haywire, whatever they call it. So now I've unbolted the clutch lever here. Okay, and I'll have to unbolt down here. Let's see if we can do it. I have to unbolt the clutch release bearing lever. Okay, the clutch engager thingy me bob, whatever. And then this shaft has to slide. Ooh. Okay, the shaft has to slide that way to get rid of the handle. Then you gently love tap it back through here. This piece will come off, and there's keyways in it. Don't lose the keyways because they go down into the grease and oil in the bottom. And the shaft comes out this hole right here. Okay, but also too, you have saggy tracks, so it's not going to work. So if you have to jack the track up, but if it's your lucky day and your lady friend's wearing matching underwear, it'll come through the hole here. Okay, we've done that numerous times with the cats and stuff like that, because Lavern is the only cat that still has the top roller. So I got lucky today. So this here, I can just slide it out, but my cats have the wooden top roller, so they usually has to come through the track chain here. But you want that shaft to come out just enough to clear everything so we can get the clutch out itself. Okay, one thing very important on these couplers down here, those are the three bolts, okay? These are the bolts here, okay? They're just a 7/16 fine thread bolt, but they have the 5/8 nut, okay, right there. Okay, most things in the 7/16 will be a 5/8 head and 11/16 nut. So don't lose these nuts, because that's very important. You have to use the open ends of your wrenches. Don't use the box ends, because you're reaching down in here. Okay, so you can entrap the box end pretty quick. Also too, I don't know if we got enough hand and eye coordination. Okay, to get this out, this little bolt here, see it jams up. Okay, it won't come out. All right, I also took one out, but you turn it. Don't start crying, just turn it and it'll come out in another location. So right there it should come out. Raise up the camera, reach down, wiggle and jiggle. There we go. Okay, so that's one thing about the IH. These are important. Don't lose them, and pay attention to details. And hopefully the mechanic that last worked on your cat did not put it together wrong, because he watched, how would you say, he didn't watch a YouTube video. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and that did not end well. I'm very upset. I don't know what went wrong. The struggle was unreal trying to get that shaft, okay? I don't understand, because we had it apart in 2019 and stuff like that, and cleaned and buffed everything. So a simple thing, this here, you know, we had to spread it open, but the hole wasn't big enough. So I plasma cut it so we can put the wedgie in there, but everything was loose, but it just wouldn't come apart. So that's it. When I get upset, I get mad. We get the plasma cutter out. The fender is now removable. Okay, we couldn't unbolt it from the main body because somebody welded the battery box there, okay? So that's only a problem. But the thing is you can't get rammy and start hammering and beating on these shafts because they mushroom and they damage everything. Because we got to remember, this shaft had to slide through here, okay? And then when you take these collars off, oops, hand and eye. When you take these collars off, that falls off right there. It goes on there on the release bearing. The other one has a grease nipple on it so it doesn't fall off. But that's the whole idea, is you slide the shaft that way, pull the lever out, and then tap it back. And we put a block in the track here to lift it up so the shaft is now under the track here. So we got it apart. We're slowly getting it. Hopefully after coffee we get the clutch out to figure out what happened, why it went limp, and Viagra couldn't help it.
Wednesday morning in WHO-ville, and it's almost 9 a.m. I'm just getting ready to head to work now. As you can see, the street lights are still on and the sunrise is just coming up, but it's hiding behind the clouds. It's supposed to snow today, so I'm sure while I'm at work it'll be snowing. Now it's time to let the dogs back in because it is cold and head up to work. Little after 12 p.m. and I'm just getting off work. As you can see, it is nasty out here. That wind's picked up and it is actually snowing now as well if you look off into the distance. So I don't think we'll be doing anything in the kingdom today. I know I gotta go get some firewood for him, but I'll wait until after 2 when I do mail. I'm not even sure if mail will be in today, but now it's time to head inside, let the dogs out, and make lunch. Almost 2 o'clock and I'm just warming up the skidoo, as you can hear in the background, and it is nasty out. The wind has picked up and it's snowing even more. Now it's time to get the skidoo out and head on over to do mail, and then I'll go to the kingdom and see what my dad's up to. Made it to the kingdom and there was nothing in the mail, so that's pretty good. I was hoping there was no bills or anything. Now I'll head down to the shop and see what my dad's up to. It's way too cold to have the mic on today because it'll just kill the little mic and the wire on there will snap off. So I'm just going to have to use the phone today, so bear with me if the sound's a little off. Not doing much in the kingdom today. I just have to get the mini out and fluff up the wood pile here. That way I can fill up the wagon on the side, then drag it back into the shop for my dad. Look at the flags of exercise. Of course, one of them has to be tangled up. It sure is windy out here today. 2:30 and I just finished filling up the wagon. It took me a little bit to pick through all the rocks and rubble and everything in there to grab some of the kindling, but this should last them until tomorrow, and then I'll have to fluff it again. It is getting worse out here though. Now it's time to head into the shop and see what my dad's up to. Almost 3 o'clock and I'm just finishing up in the kingdom. My skidoo's already covered with snow. That's how much it's snowing right now and pretty nasty out. Now I'll head on back into WHO-ville, wait a little bit, and do my weather. 3 o'clock and it's coffee time. I just put the skidoo away. It was a cold ride home. Thankfully I have the helmet to protect me from some of this wind, but the snow is coming down pretty good. Won't be able to see my tracks soon. Now it's time to head inside, let the dogs back in. They were only out for like 5 seconds, and then I'll edit some of my videos and get ready for weather. Just after 4 o'clock, and this is the temperature we're sitting at today. It's negative 15 degrees Celsius, which is 5 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom, but it does feel a lot cooler. This wind is picking up, and it's still pretty nasty out here. I'm supposed to get a lot of snow, but you never know, that could change. Now it's time to head inside, edit my videos, and end my day.
Okay, the TD6 motor or clutch or whatever, the T gas motor or whatever. Okay, it's not that heavy. I can lift it out myself. Okay, make sure you take the coupler off right here. Okay, that coupler there, okay, goes on to here. Those grooves in there fit there. And then that gives you enough room to slide this shaft out of the pilot bearing, okay? So we have no idea what went wrong. We think maybe, because that's the only thing that keeps it tight, or the or the clutch adjustment tight, is that little flange thing. So it might have come undone. Okay, this clutch is quite a bit oily, but it's not from the rear main. So what probably I did was, that was an old dried oily clutch, and we put it in here, start working it, and then the oil in the oil soakedness turned into a liquid form and went everywhere. But this thing would still pull, but it's just that it went limp. So I think on the last pull we did, the clutch was backing itself off. All right. So down in here, everything looks good. It's not the rear main seal leaking because there is no motor oil or anything down there, because we changed out the seals when we put these motors in. That's one of the first things we do. All right, so let's get this figured out, clean it up, and maybe it was just out of adjustment. Okay, it was quick to figure out what went wrong. Okay, we lost one of these. Okay, one of those goes in here. Okay, see it's in there. I should have been videotaping, but as you can tell, it's pretty greasy. So one is missing. So we also know why it's missing, because this spring is a little limp and broke. Okay. Also too, when I took this motor and did the motor change, this is the original diesel clutch. So when I bought the Cat, it had a blown motor. Okay. So who said that the clutch wasn't on its way out and the motor blew up? So like I say, there could be two things wrong, not just one. So that's what happened, is that's what, how we say, fell apart. So that's why the clutch malfunctioned. Okay. So now we can go to the shed and figure out what we got for parts, but I think we can jimmy rig with enough pieces and everything like that to get this back together. Also too, once I start cleaning it up, the IH clutches are known for cracking in here. All right. So if you go to tighten the disc in right there, that's the big greasy one. You go to tighten it in, it won't stay tight because there's cracks in here. All right. So let's put the winter clothes on and go to the shed and see what we have in inventory, and then we can figure out what we're doing. But that's why you always have parts, and you know when you're going to take this apart, there's going to be problems. But at least it's something simple that we can fix if we have to. You know, just put more grease on it and let her go. No, we can fix it. We can figure it out. But you got to remember, that's 80 years of use. We took a chance putting a used clutch and everything back in this Cat. We thought it was just the motor blew up. Maybe there was the clutch too. Okay, I put my winter clothes on, but I didn't bring my Lily Tomlin mic because I don't want the cord getting caught when I was reaching over. But it's getting nasty out there. It's like being in Saskatchewan with the wind, or Wyoming. Okay, this is the IH parts trailer. Okay, so one of these motors is the diesel motor for Lavern. Yes, Lavern. All right, so back here. All right, so this is all recycled, repurposed wood. All right, a little farther. A little farther. All right, so here's the clutches, and right there, right there is a TD6 clutch ready to reusable or usable. All right, so let's get this hauled to the shop, and then it's quitting time. Okay, I changed my mind like a woman, and I grabbed this one here. It has all the pieces in there, it just needs a little lubrication. Plus it's cold, so I don't dare touch it, because if I touch it to try and work on it or try and loosen it up or whatever, it'll break, because this is cast or whatever. So I think I'll use this one instead of that complete one, because we have other TD6s in the yard, so we'll save the good clutch for that occasion, as you would say. Okay, it's nasty out here. I'll do my end of the day video because I'm still in my winter gear. All right, but it's nasty. The snow, the wind, the blowing. The poor flags are getting, how would you say, abused. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some beer, make a video, and we'll talk to you later.